The Haunted Hamburger and Other Ghostly Stories by David La Rochelle. Illustrations by Paul Meisel. Time for bed, said Father Ghost. But we are not tired, said Franny and Frankie.
Tell us a story,
said Franny.
Tell us a scary story,
said Frankie. If I tell you a story, do you promise to go to bed? Said Father Ghost. Franny and Frankie crossed their fingers.
We promise,
they said. Very well, said Father Ghost, but I must warn you, this is a very scary story. The Scary Baby. One day, your Uncle Ned was flying down the street. I am in the mood to scare somebody, he said. He saw an old man reading the newspaper. Ha, that old man should be easy to scare. Bro! Is it Halloween already? Asked the old man. What a cute costume! He patted Uncle Ned on the head and gave him a gumdrop. Uncle Ned flew away. He did not like gumdrops. He did not like to be called cute. He saw a teenager walking down the sidewalk. I am going to scare the pants off that teenager, said Uncle Ned. Boo!
Hey, that's my favorite song,
said the teenager.
Boo boo bam, boo boo bam. Boo, 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 bam.
Uncle Ned covered his ears and flew away. He hated music. He spotted an open window and flew inside. Lying in a crib was a little baby. At last I have found someone I can scare, he said. Boo! The baby opened her eyes. Boo! The baby opened her mouth. Boo! The baby reached out her tiny hands. She grabbed Uncle Ned and began sucking on his sheet. Stop that! Screamed Uncle Ned. The baby began to cry. Your Uncle Ned had never heard such a terrible noise. It was even worse than the teenager singing. He flew into an open drawer to hide from the crying baby. While he was hiding, he heard someone walk into the room.
Poor baby,
said the someone.
I bet you need to be changed.
Good, thought Uncle Ned. I hope they change that awful baby into a toad or a snake. But that is not what happened. A hand reached into the drawer, grabbed Uncle Ned by his sheet, and before he could fly away, your uncle had become a diaper. A diaper! Screamed Franny and Frankie.
That's horrible!
Said Franny.
That's terrible!
Said Frankie. That's disgusting! They both said. I told you it was a scary story, said Father Ghost. Now climb into bed and go to sleep.
But we are not tired,
said Franny. You tell us another scary story when we promise to go to sleep, said Frankie. Very well, said Father Ghost, but I must warn you, this is a very, very scary story. The Haunted Hamburger. Your cousin Nell was a boastful ghost, Father Ghost said.
I'm the fastest ghost in the world,
said Nell.
I'm the smartest ghost in the world. I'm the scariest ghost in the world.
Big deal, said her friend Lulu. I know someone who is faster, smarter, and scarier than you. His name is the Haunted Hamburger. He lives in the dark forest. Why don't you go see him for yourself? Unless you are too afraid.
I am not afraid of anything, said Nell. I'm the bravest ghost in the world.
So Nell flew off to the dark forest to find the Haunted Hamburger.
Haunted Hamburger, where are you?
She called. There was no answer.
I bet that hamburger is too afraid to come out. He knows that I am faster, smarter, and scarier than he is.
She was about to fly home when she passed a stump. Sitting on the stump was a hamburger.
Are you the Haunted Hamburger?
Asked Nell. The hamburger did not answer.
That hamburger is so stuck up. He will not even talk to me,
said Nell.
I will teach him a lesson. Let's race to the hollow log at the edge of the forest. Whoever returns to the stump first will be the winner. On your mark, get set, go!
Cousin Nell took off. She flew under the trees and over the rocks. When she reached the hollow log, she smiled.
I know I'm faster than a hamburger,
she thought. But when she returned to the stump, the hamburger was already there.
How did you get to the log and back so soon?
Panted Nell. The hamburger was not even out of breath.
Okay, hamburger. Maybe you are faster, but I know I am smarter. Owl, wake up! Asking about the math question. We will see who is smart and who is not.
The owl stretched his wings and yawned. What is 7 plus 6? He asked Nell. Cousin Nell scribbled some numbers in the dirt. She scratched her head. She counted on her fingers.
That is easy, she said. 7 plus 6 is 452.
Wrong, said the owl. 7 plus 6 is 13. He looked at the hamburger. Now it is your turn. How much is 12 minus 12? The hamburger just sat there. That is correct, said the owl.
How can that be correct? Asked Nell. The hamburger said nothing.
12 minus 12 is nothing, said the owl. The hamburger wins.
Cousin Nell was so mad that she jumped up and down. Okay, hamburger! Maybe you are faster than I am, maybe you are smarter than I am, but you are not scarier than I am. Look at this! Cousin Nell crossed her eyes. She pulled her ears. She stuck out her tongue. She wiggled her nose. See if you can make a scarier face than that, Mr. Haunted Hamburger! The hamburger did not move. Are you too scared to even try? She lifted off the top of the bun to make sure that the Haunted Hamburger was listening. Cousin Nell gasped. She had never seen anything so terrifying in her life. The hamburger had 2 round eyes as green as pickles. He had a wide, squiggly mouth as yellow as mustard. He had white, bloody cheeks as red as ketchup. Mommy! Screamed Nell. She flew back home and hid beneath the table. She did not come out for over 2 weeks. Cousin Nell was never a boastful ghost again. 2 round eyes, said Franny. A bloody face, said Frankie. And we thought hot dogs were scary, they both said. Now it is time for bed, said Father Ghost. Would you like me to tuck you in? Not yet, said Franny. We want another scary story. But I only know one more story, said Father Ghost. Tell it, said Franny and Frankie. Very well, said Father Ghost, but I must warn you, this is the scariest story of all. The Big Bad Granny. When I was a little ghost, I never wanted to go to bed. Watch out, warned my father. If you don't go to bed, you might get a visit from the Big Bad Granny. She's a horrible monster with long skinny arms, sharp pointy fingernails, and terrible, terrible big red lips. I did not believe him. No one could be that scary. When my father went to sleep, I climbed out of my bed. I jumped on the chair and swung from the light. I am never going to sleep, I sang. Thump, thump, thump. Someone was coming up the stairs. I bet it is our cat, I thought. Hoo, hoo, hoo. Someone was laughing in the hall. I bet it is a mouse, I thought. Click, click. The handle to my bedroom door began to turn. Father, is that you? I asked. The door flew open. It was the Big Bad Granny. The Big Bad Granny chased me around my room. She caught me in her long, skinny arms and hugged me until my face turned blue. Then the Big Bad Granny wiggled her sharp, pointy fingernails. She tickled me up and down until my face turned purple. Finally, the Big Bad Granny did the most horrible thing of all. She smiled her big bad smile. She licked her big red lips. Don't do it! Don't do it! I cried, but the Big Bad Granny kissed me. She kissed my nose. She kissed my ears. She kissed my neck. She even kissed my belly. She even kissed my elbows. I was covered in lipstick for weeks. Hugging! Cried Franny. Tickling, said Frankie. Kissing, they both said. That was the scariest story of all. I hope I have not frightened you too much, said Father Ghost. Now it is time to go to sleep. More stories, cried Franny and Frankie. I do not know any more stories, said Father Ghost. Then we are going to stay up all night, said Franny and Frankie. Very well, said Father Ghost, but I am going to bed. Franny and Frankie bounced on their beds. They hit each other with pillows until... Thump, thump, thump. Someone was climbing up the stairs. I bet it is our cat, said Franny. We do not have a cat, said Frankie. Someone was laughing in the hall. I bet it is a mouse, said Franny. Mice do not laugh, said Frankie. Click, click. The handles to their bedroom door began to turn. It's the Big Bad Granny, cried Franny and Frankie. They jumped into bed and closed their eyes. Creak. The door opened. Good night, my little ghosts, whispered Father Ghost, and quietly he turned off the light. The end.